Over the next few weeks, we're going to take a look at Teacher SEL. Why? Well, it's a vital part of what we need today as teachers, and it's certainly a huge piece of SEL, social, emotional, artistic learning. So plug yourself in and let's get rocking. Of course, your classroom is student-centered, but your professional development, that needs to be teacher-centered. And we're going to dig into what that means here today on the Inspired Classrooms podcast. Welcome, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Peterson, and I love talking about this teacher-centered professional development topic. Think about this. When you go into your PD, if it's just student-centered, you may not be getting all that you can out of the experiences that the presenter is giving to you. Instead, you need and you should have professional development that is geared towards you, how you learn, giving you some experiences that are at your level, and then you're going to get so much more out of it. This is the get inspired part of our motto here at the Inspired Classroom. Now, if your PD is geared towards you, how you think, how you do things, then your gears, as you're sitting there or as you're engaging in the activities, your gears are going to start turning, and you're going to think of all the ways that you can make these things work in your classroom for your students, and turn that teacher-centered experience of your PD into teacher-centered experiences for your classroom. You're going to bring back all these things that you learned, and you're going to then be inspiring. So what does this kind of teacher-centered PD look like? All right, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I remember the very first professional development that I attended that I really would consider teacher-centered was a math PD. And in that PD, we had teachers from grades 4, which is what I was teaching at the time, grades 4 through, I want to say 8, maybe 9. So it was a pretty decent span, especially when you're considering math content and curriculum, right? Well, the workshop presenter was amazing because he taught us about techniques and skills of math to bring to our students by giving us really considerably difficult math problems that I hadn't seen since, I don't know, sophomore or junior year in high school. Things that were really involved and you had to really work your way through logic and problem solving. They were problems that I absolutely would never had given to my 4th grade math students. But through those experiences of going through that process and muddling through and reworking that side of my brain again, I was able to pull so much experience from that I could then bring into my math lessons for my own 4th grade students. Here's another example, and this one's going to be arts-centered. For so many years, I've been providing professional development in the arts and arts integration. And at the core of all of that has been this idea of being teacher-centered. And here's what it means. I don't think that we should just be talking about some great artistic and arts integrative ideas and lessons that we can bring to our students. Instead, we need to make sure that the teachers who attend this professional development experience them themselves. So here's an example. A couple of years ago, I was attending the Inspired Classrooms summer retreat. And at that retreat, there was a workshop that was being given by a local art teacher who happened to also be a former student of mine, which was pretty cool. And she led us through the entire creative process of creating these 3-dimensional sea creatures that we then stuffed with recycled materials. And you may not know this about me, but I am no visual artist. And so the thought of creating a three-dimensional sea creature was a little intimidating to me. Yes, I'm open-minded to trying new things. And so that's what, kind of got me through to even start this creative process of making this sea creature. But here's the thing. I wouldn't just think to do this type of thing on my own with my students. The idea, the fact that I got the opportunity to hands-on draw out, design, paint, cut out, put together, and stuff this sea creature on my own through this process was what allowed me the knowledge and the skills to then bring that experience to my students. Now, of course, I could take that and I could adapt it in any way, shape, or form that I wanted to with my own students. What I ended up doing was I was able to collaborate with the art teacher that actually is the art teacher at my school. She also was at the same retreat, and together we had our entire fourth grade grade of about 100 students or so create their own sea creatures, three-dimensional sea creatures, at the end of the school year in honor of World Ocean Day. It was really a wonderful, wonderful project. But see, I would not have had the confidence and the experience to actually bring that to the students if it wasn't for my own experience, my own teacher-centered professional development that I was able to attend. My point being, when teachers are able to throw themselves into the activities and the learning that it is at their own level, and they're able to really experience it themselves, teachers are so much more apt to bring those types of experiences and learning to their own students. It truly is what our motto is all about. Get inspired so that you can be inspiring. Now, that's the beauty of the professional development that we provide here at the Inspired Classroom. And if you're interested in learning about some of our online offerings and offerings throughout the school year, I'll put the link to our professional development page in the show notes. So what does this have to do with Teacher SEL though? Because this collection of episodes is all about Teacher SEL. Well, this kind of professional development is the type that really feeds a teacher's fire, a teacher's passion for what they're doing. This kind of professional development it treats teachers like the professionals that they are. No one's talking down to them. No one's just giving them good ideas or walking them through, a handout and then the handout gets put on the shelf. They're engaged in the work. And dare I say, they're enjoying the work that they're doing. And the more you can get teachers to have this type of teacher-centered professional development where they're engaged and they're enjoying it and they're automatically thinking, oh, how can I bring this to my students? The better off everyone is going to be. So what kind of PD do you have? What kind of professional development does your school or your district provide for you? What kind of professional development do you go out and get because it's something that you enjoy and you need? I'd love to hear from you about professional development that you have attended and your experiences with that. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. DM me over there. I'm at The Inspired Classroom on both platforms, and I would love to continue this conversation with you about teacher-centered professional development. Thanks so much for listening. Please be sure to subscribe as we continue talking about arts, learning, and in this collection of episodes, Teacher SEL. Teacher SEL is an important part of SEAL, social, emotional, artistic learning, where we believe in investing in the teacher so that they can make the greatest impact on their students. If you want to learn more, go to teachsel.com. My name's Elizabeth Peterson, reminding you to get inspired so that you can be inspiring to your students.